Hard to believe it's taken until May the 7th, but we're finally outside for some softball here in the 2018 spring season on Fred TV. Evan Massoud with you for the call of today's game between the Durfee Hilltoppers and the New Bedford Whalers. Last Big Three game to be played here on this field, because by this time next year, construction on the new Durfee will have started, and this field will not be used for spring sports. So kind of a historic closing out of the Big Three here at Durfee for softball, a field here that saw 2 state championships, 98 and 2004. And here in 2018, you're looking at the last Big Three game to be played here at this softball field. So should be a good one. Both teams come in with limited playing time thanks to all the rain that we've had. There have been so many rescheduled games that the schedule from the beginning of the year till now looks completely different. For New Bedford, they're coming in at 3-5 and 1-0 in the Big Three. Durfee 2-4 and 1-0 in the Big Three. They beat Brockton last Wednesday 4-2. So Brockton 0-2 in the Big Three. So it's basically going to come down to Durfee and New Bedford. So this one here, first time these two teams seen each other, this is a big game for sure. And whoever wins it will be in basically in command for the league title. So it should be a good game again. We got Jackie Dumont on the hill for Durfee. She's their ace pitcher, the lefty. Look for some good ball movement. She doesn't throw overly hard, just a lot of great breaking pitches or screwball, really good arsenal of pitches. So she'll try to keep the hitters off balance all afternoon. Leading off for the Lady Whalers is Kiki Almeida Silvia. She's the shortstop, number 14, as Strito gets the sign from Ferreira. And that's ball one to start things off. The rest of the Whalers lineup, we have the DH, Kylie Catano, left fielder, Marilena Tessonas, the pitcher, Lillian Gray, catcher, Haley Booton in the 5 spot, the first baseman, Jessica Aruda, in right field, Monica Ayers, the third baseman, Emma Furland, at second, Sydney Ramos, and the flex hitter, center fielder, Jessie Lynn David. Swung on and missed. Lady Whalers are coached by Harry Lowe. It's his 15th season at New Bedford. Fouled off to the backstop. We'll have 2 strikes on the batter. Defensively for the Hilltoppers, in the infield, we have Strollo at third, Strito at short, Borges at second, Mayette at first. In the outfield, Dias, Kelly, and Menzies from left to right. Behind the dish is Ferreira catching for Dumont. Little flare to Mayette for the first out of the ball game. .66 degrees, mostly sunny here at game time. Breeze coming in from the southeast. That's grounded back to the pitcher. First pitch swinging, and Catano is retired, 2 down. And you can probably hear the wind a little bit through the microphone here, the headset. It is breezy, and again blowing, really coming in from the east there. So anything hitting the air to left should travel pretty well. Of course, no fence here. Sometimes we've used a temporary fence, but last couple years electing to go with the infinite outfield, if you will. So the ball will roll a while. Marilena Tessonas batting here, the number 3 hitter. 2 down in the first. Foul back behind the plate. Oh, 0-2 on the hitter as Dumont looking for a 1-2-3 first. That is upstairs, just above the belt, so 1-2. Corner's playing in. That's driven to left, and that's going to go foul as it hooked just to the left of the line. Downstairs in the dirt. Good eye from Tisonis to lay off. Works the count back even at 2-2. And a really good eye there, even tougher pitch to lay off. Full count now, 6 pitch at bat going here for Tisonis. She was down 0-2 in the count. Here's the payoff. Popped up behind us and out of play. After 2 quick first outs, Tisonis making Dumont work. Back on the rubber here, pitch number 8, 3-2 pitch coming. And that's strike 3. Dumont with her first strikeout. It's a 1-2-3 first inning. No score after half an inning here on Fred TV. We'll flip over the lineup. Over the card here. We'll take a look at the Hilltoppers starting 9. Coach John Ferreira going with the 9-hitter lineup. And leading off, we're going to see the shortstop, Gabby Strito, followed by the center fielder, Julia Kelly, the catcher, Faith Ferreira, followed by Jackie Dumont, the pitcher, in the cleanup spot. Left fielder, Kylie Dias, batting 5th, followed by freshman first baseman, Celine Mayette. We saw Celine with girls volleyball back in the fall. The second baseman, Caitlin Borges, followed by Abby Strollo, the third baseman. And in right field, batting 9th, Ariana Menzies. Coach John Ferreira talking to me before the game. He's been at Durfee here for 7 years. And he said he's got 4 starting freshmen on this team. And much like New Bedford also New Bedford. And Coach Lowe has 3 8th graders on this varsity team, 4 sophomores. So both teams pretty young. I'd say Durfee with a little more veteran experience. But again, both young teams, and that's kind of been the story throughout this school year, kind of the youth movement here for the Hilltoppers athletics. Again, mentioning girls volleyball, Coach Kelly Bullier had 5 starting freshmen in girls volleyball. So we're seeing a lot of younger kids here, a good wave of younger kids coming into Durfee and getting to play some varsity sports, which is always great to see. And it's always good for the coaches too, because while there's some learning curve and rebuilding to happen when you have younger players come in, there's still enough veterans on the team that can help groom them, and then you have them for 4 years. So anytime you get freshmen on varsity, that's always a good sign. Strito steps in and looks at ball 1. It's the bottom of the first is underway. Gray on the hill for the Lady Whalers, the only starter, only pitcher for Coach Lowe. So with the schedule the way it is the rest of the year here, basically playing every other day. Swinging bunt, this could be trouble, and it is a infield hit for Strito. So she's on to start things off. But again, with the schedule being so jam-packed due to all the rainouts early on, Coach Lowe was saying that Gray threw almost over 200 pitches in an extra inning game. I think it was at Dartmouth. I mean, that's just like absolutely incredible. That's unheard of. This lucky when Major League Baseball players make it 100 pitches and you have a high schooler having to throw over 200. It's just unbelievable. But that's what happens sometimes when you have limited pitchers. So Gray on the hill for New Bedford. Catching is Booten. And now in the infield at third, Furland, followed by Almeida Sylvia, Ramos, and a Reuter, shortstop, second, and first. In the outfield from left to right, Tisonis, David, and Ayers. The DH is Catano, the 10th hitter for New Bedford. Another bunt, and that goes foul. So Julia Kelly unable to get the bunt down on the first 2 strikes, and now gonna have to swing away. And she swings through it. Strito off to second and falls off the bag, but still safe. So she's still second, but the strikeout to Kelly, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the first. Booten threw through there, and not a bad throw, but Streeto got a really good jump after the ball was released from Gray's hand. And bring up Faith Ferreira, the catcher for the Hilltoppers, number 1. With Streeto in scoring position now, 1 down. Durfee would like to strike first. Looks at ball 1 upstairs. That's upstairs as well, so 2-0 to Ferreira, in control of the count. And a timeout.
Coach, conference. Good being on close. I can see better. 2-4-4, 2-4-4. Count low. Low, count. 2-0.
Quick coaches conference there with Ferreira and Ferreira, coach and player. Drops the bunt down, brings the third baseman Furland off the bag. Streeto over to third. Great throw from Furland to first. Nicely done there on the 5-3 putout, but again, the runner moves over. So a base hit would put Durfee up 1-0 as over to third goes Streeto on the sacrifice. And it brings up Jackie Dumont. Had a home run in that Brockton game. And again here, a home run. You got to run it out on the ground. And that'll do it there. A late break at third from Streeto did not matter. It was a ground out to third for the third out, but kind of forgot there were 2 outs, I think, there for a minute. So Streeto left at third after 1 full inning on Fred TV. The score, 0-0 between Durfee and New Bedford. Final warm-up toss for Jackie Dumont here as we get ready to begin the second inning. Had a 1-2-3 first, a line out, a ground out, and a strikeout. So 1 in the air, 1 on the ground, and 1 doing it yourself. The side was retired in order. Now middle of the order for New Bedford. We'll see Lillian Gray, the pitcher, lead things off here in the top of the second. Swinging away on the first pitch, and it goes over the backstop. Nice assist by one of our fans there, catching it on the 1 hop. And fires it back in. Sign him up. And Dumont ahead in the count. 1 strike, no balls. There is outside for ball 1. Upstairs, now falling behind. Gray ahead, 2-1, good hitters count. Corners in again for the Hilltoppers. See that most of the time. So easy to drop a bunt down in softball and beat it out. Again, the bases, you know, the base path's much shorter. It's a smaller infield than in baseball. So now even at 2-2 after the foul ball. It was a good hack from Gray. Ropes that one a little closer to the line, but still foul. Two-two pitch, curveball. Lays off it, works the count full. That was a real slow breaking ball up there. Grounded to third, to Hopper, to Strollo, who throws out the runner for out number 1. Dumont's retired the first 4. It'll bring up the catcher, Haley Boutin, batting 5th in the order. Upstairs for ball 1. Fly ball to center, that's hit pretty well. Kelly backing up on it, and it drops. Can't get the glove on it, throw into the cutoff man. That was Streeto. And it's gonna be a double for Hallie Booten, first hit of the day for the Whalers. So Jessica Aruda will step in, the first baseman, with one out and a runner in scoring position. Again, that ball, I think, got up into the wind a bit and traveled because Kelly had to backtrack on it, and she's not playing too shallow. You know, there's a fine line when you don't have a fence behind you as to where you need to be playing in the outfield. We're going to have a courtesy runner, Haley Louise, coming in off the bench for Booten, the catcher. So number 19 out there at second running. That's Louise running for Booten. And Aruda at the plate getting signals from Coach Lowe. So we wait for our home plate umpire here, Ray, to mark down the sub. Corners in again. Grounder to short. Streeto ranging to her left. She was out of position. Gets to first. Throw to third. May have the runner. And it's going to be just late to throw. Good base running from Louise. Good fielding there from Streeto. So 2 down, runner at third for Monica Ayers, the right fielder. So kind of a similar situation the Hilltoppers had last inning. Grounder to the right side, fielded by Borges, underhand flip to Mayette, and the Hilltoppers escape any trouble. So Dumont works around a 1-out double. And she strands that runner at third after 2 innings pitched. Gotta say, as much as I love baseball, one thing that I love about softball is that the games move along a lot quicker than baseball. The pace of the game changes. It's a totally different animal, even though, you know, the rules are so similar. And, you know, I think from a fan standpoint and from, you know, especially from a fielder standpoint as well, I mean, you constantly kept busy. I mean, look at how quickly Dumont got out of that inning after the double. I mean, it was like 3 pitches, and there you go. Ground ball to the left side, ground ball to the right side. Just a different pace, different feel to the game. Durfee will have 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Coming up here in the bottom of the second, Kylie Dias will lead it off, the left fielder. Durfee with the 1 hit. That was the leadoff hit from Streeto to begin the ball game. Again, left at third in the first. So both teams have gotten a runner to third, just unable to bring her home. Good fastball over the plate. Fouled off to the right towards the visitor's dugout. 2-1, so I guess that fastball before the foul ball, the pitch previous was actually a ball. Must not have grabbed that outside corner. Definitely was a good height for a strike, but must have been a little wide. So 2-1. That one's over for strike 2. Nice job by Gray to work back. Even things up after falling behind. So 2-2 count now to Dias. Upstairs, got her swinging. That's the second strikeout. So Gray picks up another. Outside corner for strike one. Celine Mayette, the batter, the first baseman, number 17. Very tall first baseman, stance very low, and that's actually not a bad idea when you're tall to kind of squat down a bit in the box, because she waves and totally fooled on that one. But it really can diminish the strike zone for the umpire and for the pitcher, so never a bad idea there. Definitely fooled badly though on that last pitch. Very slow breaking ball inside. That one upstairs. And that is another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Gray here in the second. Caitlin Borges will step in, the second baseman. Well, they heard Coach Ferreira there saying, hey, you know, don't help out the pitcher. Swing at strikes. Let the high ones and the low ones go. That's a good pitch right down the pike. Gray ahead. 0-1 to Borges. Upstairs, uppercut swing. It's 0-2. Gray looking for a 1-2-3 inning and maybe strike out the side in order. Outside. A little sweeper there. Boutin had to kind of go to the backhand to catch that one. Here's the 1-2. Downstairs, nice job to stay alive by Borges, following it off. A little ahead of it. Looked like Gray took something off. I don't think that was the fastball. More of a breaking ball. Upstairs, having a duck out of the way, and Borges works the count back in her favor. So 2-2, evens it up. Strike three called as Borges goes down looking for out number 3, and a dominating second for Gray. Strikes out the Hilltoppers in order to end the second. No score from Durfee after 2. Top of the third about to commence here from the Hilltoppers home field here at Durfee. Emma Furland will lead it off, the third baseman for the Lady Whalers, as Durfee hosts New Bedford here. Big 3 play. Evan Massard with you on Fred TV. 2 innings in the books, no score. Just 1 hit for each side. But a dominating bottom of the second you just saw from the Lady Whalers pitcher there. Lillian Gray, Streeto with a nice play here to start off the third, but Lillian Gray striking out the side in order in the second inning, ending it with a called third strike, so not too shabby right there. Dumont gets a quick first out. 6-3 the put out. It brings up Sydney Ramos, the second baseman. Right-handed batter takes strike 1. Strike 2 looked at. Quickly in the hole, 0-2 is Ramos. Upstairs, looked at. On deck, the leadoff batter, Kiki Almeida Silvia. Grounder to the right side, out of play. Yeah, so a quick correction there as well. We had Jessie Lynn David as the flex slash center fielder on the lineup itself, but she's not hitting. So Coach Lowe going with the 9-player lineup, not the 10 as initially thought. So we got some clarification on that. Grounder to the right side again, just outside the field of play. Nice job to stay alive here. Ramos following off a couple tough pitches. Still 1-2 the count. Sixth pitch of the at-bat coming here from Dumont, trying to put her away. And she waves and misses at a breaking ball that looked like it would take forever to get to home plate. Took a lot off of it there, a little spinner. 2 down, and now we're back to the top of the order. That was the second strikeout for Dumont. Inside ball 1 to Kiki Almeida Sylvia. Lined out to first to begin things in the first. That's a strike upstairs. That's probably the highest strike call we've seen on the afternoon. Right at belt high. 1-2. Strollo and Mayette playing in at the corners. That's foul to the right, and Dumont ahead now 1-2. Decent crowd on hand. Nice day for some softball. Hilltoppers baseball won over the weekend against Case. That's grounded. Nice snag by Dumont. Spins and throws out the runner to end the top of the third. Nicely done there. She kind of had to redirect and able to get the glove on it. So a 1-2-3 top of the third. But talking about baseball, the Durfee boys had a Saturday afternoon game against Case. That was a very, very quick contest, a little over an hour to play 7 innings, if you can believe it. Ethan Ferreira, a complete game shutout, 2-hitter if memory serves right, and it was a 1-0 win. Remy Dumont supplying the offense with a solo home run on Saturday for Durfee. So a nice win there for the Hilltopper boys over the weekend. And it was a busy weekend for us here at Fred TV as we competed in the Boston 48-Hour Film Festival, kind of an annual tradition that Pauline and her senior class does. And I've been a part of it now the last 3 years. It's a lot of fun and very busy, very kind of stressful. We made the deadline by like 4 minutes this year. It was came right down to the wire, but definitely a fun experience. So be sure to check out the channel. We'll be airing our piece. It's basically the way it works as Abby Strollo steps in for the first time. Bottom of the third underway. Basically how it works is you got to go to Boston and register, and you draw from a hat. You pick 2 genres. You got to choose one, and then everybody who signs up, here's the commonality, is you get the same character that they have to use with the same role and a one-liner and a prop. So everybody has to work those elements in regardless of the genre, and then you go from there. So it really is a pretty cool exercise, and we ended up with horror as our genre. And I'm not going to really tell much more than that. Hopefully you can check out the piece. It's called Shaboom, and it'll be airing on Fred TV here, Channel 9. Strike 3, inside corner, 4 straight strikeouts for Gray. That one might have been a little inside. That's probably one of the more inside pitches we've seen also this afternoon. But Gray dealing right now. Retired 7 in a row, 5 by way of the strikeout. We'll see Ariana Menzies, the right fielder, the number 9 hitter for Durfee, step in with 1 out. Nobody on, swinging through that one upstairs as well. That one goes foul. Breaking in was Furland when we saw Menzies square around a bunt, and the foul ball bunt liner, if you will, going right past her. It's our first of 2 games we got this week. We'll be over at Skip Lewis Field for baseball. Strike 3, 5 straight Ks. We'll be up, though, at Skip Lewis Field for baseball on Thursday as Brockton comes to town. So back to the top of the order here, Gabby Strito. 1 for 1 with an infield single. Takes a look at ball 1 upstairs. And just double checking the schedule. Again, so many changes. So actually this Thursday's game is New Bedford as well. It's baseball in New Bedford. So we will have that game as well for you this week. Thursday's weather looks good. We look pretty dry the entire week. So finally a week with no challenges weather-wise. At least that's how it appears at the moment. That was a called strike. Strito steps back in. Nobody on, 2 down. Pops it up, foul coming back over our heads. And out of play, 2 strikes on the hitter. 2-2 is the count. Gray in position for what would be her 6th consecutive strikeout. And she gets it. Ball away though. Strito running to first, gonna beat it out. That's gonna be ultra frustrating when the runner reaches after you get the strikeout. So that's a wild pitch on the strikeout. So Strito, the only Hilltopper who's reached, and she's reached twice. That was the 7th strikeout for Gray through 2 2/3 innings. Julia Kelly was her first strikeout back in the first, so she's 0 for 1 as she steps in. Face Ferreira on deck if we get that far. That ball up and away. 1-1. That was a good pitch, just fell out of the catcher's mitt on the transfer as Strito took second, so her second stolen base. So she's at second base. Kelly at the plate. Ahead in the count. We're gonna go to third. Great base running from Strito. Gotta love that. Nobody was holding her on at second. She got a walking lead, waited for the throw to go back to the pitcher, and just basically jogged into third. Little head first diving play there. So she's at third for Kelly. Looking for a base hit now for the Hilltoppers. On the ground is short. Almeida Sylvia with the throw, and it is in time. So New Bedford works out of the jam there. A strikeout that should have ended the inning. Got a runner to third. And Gray able to work around it, though. So we'll stay scoreless after 3, 4th inning. Coming up next on Fred TV. 4th inning about to begin here on Fred TV. As Dumont back in the circle. And starts off ahead here with a first pitch strike to the number 2 batter, Kylie Catano, leading things off. So top of the 4th here. Again, scoreless game. That one outside for a ball. Catano was retired on a ground ball out back to Dumont in the 1st inning. So 0 for 1, the DH. That's driven to center. This may fall in just out of reach of Borges. And it'll be a little bloop single for Catano. A leadoff hit. And that'll bring up Marilena Tassanis, who struck out in the 1st. That was 1 of 2 strikeouts for Dumont. Had to really work for it. That was a long at bat that Tassanis put on. Going at first. Throw down to second is in time. They got her. Ferreira guns down the runner for the first out. Not a bad jump, but just a really good throw as well from Ferreira. That's grounded hard to second, out of reach of Borges again. That one though on the ground. Going to second, boy, Tisanis has some wheels. Got to second rather quickly, and it is a now one-out double. So how big is that caught stealing? The Whalers would be up 1-0 right now. Lillian Gray, the pitcher, will step in 0 for 1. Ground out to third. Back in the second. So Tisanis at second. Gray at the plate, 1 down. Scoreless ball game. Popped up, Streeto ranging back, squeezes the glove on it. And there is out number 2. And now we'll see Haley Boutin, the catcher. She doubled to center field in the second inning. That was New Bedford's first hit. Now up with a chance to put her team ahead. Looks at strike 1. Popped up. Mayette coming over. Inning over. And Dumont, again, makes quick work of New Bedford, working around a couple of hits. The caught stealing big there from Ferreira. I'll tell you, if Boutin was able to square around on one, she had a big hole right up the middle. And anything that was towards second base probably would have gotten through. We saw the first base and third base, first baseman and third baseman were both playing very close to the line. And then shortstop and second playing closer to the lines as well. So there was, again, a lot of room up the middle there, but Boutin got under it for the pop-up out to end the fourth. We're already halfway through this one. Playing 7 innings this afternoon. So halfway through, 0-0 the score. Hilltoppers will come to bat here with the middle part of the order. 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup. Going to break the ice. Faith Ferreira will lead it off. First pitch swinging, a frozen rope to left field as Faith Ferreira on to begin the fourth, not waiting around. A stinging line drive into left field for a base hit. Jackie Dumont will step in. Ground out to third in the first, so 0 for 1. Ferreira now 1 for 2 with that base hit. And we'll have a courtesy runner. That's going to be Zena Lopez coming in for the catcher. She's number 10. So number 10 on the bases now for Durfee. Dumont ready to step in. Again, our home plate umpire there, Mr. Ray, just making the changes in his lineup, letting New Bedford know. And we'll get back to the action. I think we may have an issue with Lopez's helmet, so gonna get another one before she gets back to the bases. So an official timeout here for equipment failure. There we go. Got a new helmet. Ready to rock and roll.
144, 144.
Dumont looks at a first pitch ball up and away. Starts off ahead in the count, 1-0. A lot of room in the gaps in the outfield as the left fielder and right fielder playing very close to the line. That's a strike, very close, very similar to the last pitch, just a little lower, but definitely a high strike call. Again, if Dumont can get one in the air, there is a lot of room in the gaps in the outfield. You know, again, she had that home running in the Brockton game. And here, you get a home run, you got to run it out. So anything hit to the gap, though, with decent authority, it's going to be at least 3 bases, sometimes the home run. So skied to the left side, coming down in play. Nicely done by Furland for out number 1. Almost doubled up. The runner throw was a little late and off to the right, but looked like it was going to go out of play, and it was caught just in bounds. So Kylie Dias is going to come up next, but first, Coach Lowe with a mound meeting with his infield and the team. We heard Coach Ferreira giving some directives as well, as you saw the geese fly in there from right to left. Reminding the runners that anything in foul ground, you should be tagging up at first. All right, Dias stepping in. She started that string of 6 consecutive strikeouts for Gray that started back to begin the 2nd inning. Dias, the 5-hitter for Durfee. That, I believe, hit the batter. It did. So a hit by pitch that's going to move the runner up to 2nd. As Lopez running for Ferreira moves up to 2nd base. Dias on with a hit by pitch. So 2 on for Durfee. First time they've had 2 on in the game at one time. Celine Mayette coming up. She struck out in her first AB. Big spot here. 1 down, 2 on. And that one down low for a ball. Downstairs ball 2. Nice job by Mayette to lay off those first 2 pitches. You can tell she's made some adjustments because she was fooled on a breaking ball in her first at bat, but here letting the low ones go. Good pitch to swing at there. Got jammed. The runners are going to move over, so basically a swinging bunt. Nice job by Mayette. Got the job done in the end. Runners move over on the 5-3 put out. So Caitlin Borges will come up now with 2 runners in scoring position. Looking to break this 0-0 tie here in the bottom of the 4th. Lopez at 3rd, Dias at 2nd. Base hit should score 2. Upstairs, ball 1. Popped up, coming behind us, out of play. Popped up foul, and now Gray in command, 1 and 2, trying to work out of the jam here in the fourth.
Right on it, let's fight now, come on. Don't fall third strikes, just swing it, let's go, aggressive.
1, 2. 1, 2. On top of it, Kate, on top of it, Kate. 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 4.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, close pitch. That's a tough one to take right there. Borges trying to deliver with 2 down. Strike 3, looks at the breaking ball. It dropped in there. That's a great pitch. And that's the second time Borges has gone down looking. Gray strands a pair. We stay scoreless after 4. Well, if you're just tuning in, you missed a great job of pitching by Gray to get out of a jam for the Whalers in the bottom of the 4th, stranding 2 in scoring position. Striking out Caitlin Borges, looking, dropped a wicked curveball there. Baseball, that one would be considered like an eephus pitch. Took forever to come up. Looked like it was going to float out of the zone and just whoop, dropped right in there for strike 3. So that was her 8th strikeout on the afternoon, and the Hilltoppers unable to push that first run across the board and across the plate. So we stay scoreless as we begin the 5th inning here. Evan Massoud with you on Fred TV for Big 3 softball. Durfee hosting New Bedford. Dumont ahead in the count here, 0-2 to Jessica Aruda, who grounded out to short in her first at-bat. She's the number 6 hitter in the lineup, so we'll see 6, 7, and 8 here in the 5th. Anybody reaches, and we'll see Ramos. That one missing outside, 1-2. Just a great afternoon for some spring sports, all sunshine. Strike 3. Swinging. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Jackie Dumont. It brings up Monica Ayers. She grounded to second. Now popped up. Borges got to run in. It's going to end up being an infield single. A pop-up that went maybe 15 feet in the air and just dropped. Everybody, the middle infielders playing back there. Monica Ayers with an infield single that wasn't on the ground. How about that? That's kind of a rarity. So she's at first with 1 down. Bring up Emma Furland, who's 0 for 1, grounding to short. And Monica Ayers maybe thought about breaking for second, but then maybe remembered that Catano got thrown out by Ferreira, who has a pretty good arm behind the plate, and thought better of it. We'll see if she tries again here. Showing bunt. That's a good bunt. Dumont fielding, throwing, hits the runner. It goes into the outfield. This is going to be the first run of the game. Around from first is Ayers with the game's first run. This one gets away. Bad throw back in. And at third base is Furland. So what should have been a sacrifice turns into a throwing error. An E1 and a run. So that's an unearned run for New Bedford. They're up 1-0 here in the 5th. And, you know, that's going to be incredibly frustrating after the Hilltoppers had 2 in scoring position last inning and were unable to push 1 across the board. Swung on and missed. Dumont in a big-time jam here with 1 down, trying to limit the damage to just that 1 run. Sydney Ramos at the plate, struck out in her first at-bat. Looks at strike 2. And it's a 1-2 count to her. On deck is Kiki Almeida Sylvia, the leadoff batter, who's 0 for 2 so far. Grounded back to Dumont. Got to run a rundown, going to throw home. Ferreira loses the ball, and the runner is safe. A bad throw from Dumont. And Ramos is going to end up at second base on was the fielder's choice. Furland scores. And I have to say that that was catcher should have had that one. Probably an error on the catcher. Under the second for the second out, so we'll call that an E2. So 2 errors in the inning for Durfee. Almeida Sylvia grounds out to second there, so there's 2 down. Over to third goes Ramos. Two runs in though for New Bedford. That's driven to center. Kelly ranging, able to make the running play. That's a big play right there. That would have been a 3rd run. So a fly to center field to end the top of the 5th, but New Bedford on the board with a pair of runs in the 5th here. 2 runs that were unearned thanks to 2 throwing errors. New Bedford did hit the ball well at the end there. Catano, she gave that one a ride. Nice ranging play from Kelly in the outfield to, again, escape further trouble. So just the 1 hit in the inning, though, the infield single that really started it all. 1 runner left on for the Whalers. So they lead it. They break the ice first. Now up to the Hilltoppers to answer. Durfee has the bottom of the order coming up, 8-9, and then back to the top, Streeto. So 8-9 and 1 for Durfee coming up. So Strollo stepping in for her second at bat, struck out looking in the 3rd.
Come on, ladies, let's go. 1-2-5, 1-2-5.
Strike call to begin the at-bat. Gray with 8 Ks on the day through 4 innings. Grounded to the left side, played by Almeida Sylvia, and throws out the runner in plenty of time. Nice play there, 6-3. 1 out. Ariana Menzies coming up, the right fielder. Oh, we're going to have a pinch hitter here, actually. It's going to be Deidre Duarte. So a pinch hitter here. Duarte will step in.
20 for 15. 20 for 15. Come on, defense.
Hey, what do you say, kid?
All right, kid.
We say, hey, DD. Lena, let's go. Come on.
Okay.
And a strike call to begin the at-bat. Menzies had 1 at-bat. She struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. So 0 for 1 on the day for her. Swung on and fouled to the backstop. 1-2. Gabby Strito on deck. Duarte down on the count, 1-2. And timeout. I'd say she's got a vicious swing. I mean, she gets a hold of one here, could go a long way. Shading her to pull as David, the center fielder, playing into left center. Chopped and basically flared foul over the dugout. Upstairs, swung on and missed. Duarte down on strikes for the second out. That is the 9th strikeout for Gray. And it's now going to bring up Strito. Strito has a single and reached on a strikeout, which was on a wild pitch. She swung on and missed, and then the wild pitch got away, and she reached. She's been left at third twice. So as a leadoff batter, doing her job, getting on any way she can and getting into scoring position, just no one to cash in and bring her home. Looks at a ball downstairs. 1-1. It's that slow curve that got Borges to end last inning with the 2 in scoring position. That's just a deadly pitch. Takes so much off of it. Now ahead in the count, looking for her 10th strikeout is Gray. 1-2. That's upstairs. Strito lets it go high. So count even at 2-2. Here's the pitch. Hit to right, going foul, and towards the fans, down the right field line. Considering the rain we got yesterday, the field here not really too muddy. It actually looks good. They brushed it, if you will. They run the tractor with the fence across it, raked it. Nice job to stay alive. Tough pitch there for Strito to handle. But the infield, actually, I walked on it. Not too soft, and actually this is kind of like the best because it almost, with a little bit of moisture, acts more like clay. So I mean, when we've had a few days of no rain, it dries up and it becomes basically a dust storm out here. So upstairs, and it's a full count to Strito with 2 down. So yeah, this is for an infield, this is really the best you want it. It's just a little tacky, a little bit like clay, but not enough to really muddy the cleats or affect play. It actually helps you out a little bit. Strito looks at strike 3, and that is number 10 for Gray, holding Durfee to another 1-2-3 inning offensively, keeping her team up 2-0 after 5. As we begin the 6th inning, talk about pace of play earlier in the game. Since first pitch, it's been 1 hour real time. We've played 5 innings. And again, it's been not a real offensive game. Bedford striking for 2 in the 5th inning and making it that 2-0 score. But seriously, been a very quick moving softball game this afternoon here. Early May 7th. Again, 1 hour of real time in the books here. Back to Doom on a hot shot, able to play it for out number 1. And Tassanis is retired, so now 1 for 3. The Hilltoppers unable to put some hits together here in this one against Gray. or should say put a run together. She's been pretty dominant on the hill. They've had a couple chances, but Gray, who's at the plate right now, has had a very, very strong game. And again, you know, for Durfee, it's unfortunate because those 2 runs, at least in my book, are going as unearned runs. 2 errors. A throwing error by Dumont, and then the throw back to home and the run down. High throw, but if the catcher comes down with it, that takes at least 1 off the board, and the catcher couldn't hold on to the ball. So 2 unearned runs scored by New Bedford in that 5th inning. And that's really the difference in this one right now. Hit to right field and right at Menzies. It was kind of slicing back towards her. That's the first fly ball out to right field in the game. Score that one an F9. And that brings up Booten, the catcher. Booten's 1 for 2, a double to center, and a pop out to first. Takes a strike. Dumont has had 2 1-2-3 innings on the day, in the first and then in the third. And that one will break up the 1-2-3 inning. A base hit right up the middle. So a 2-out base runner. We'll see Haley Louise come in as a courtesy runner. She did that earlier in the game. So Booten with 2 hits, the only hitter in either lineup with 2 hits to her credit. A nice afternoon for her in the 5 spot. Gonna bring up Jessica Aruda. Swinging on the first pitch, sends it foul. Tell you one thing, this the fields here, walking over, it's mentioned about the infield, but the grass as well. All over this section of fields, JV baseball, varsity softball, varsity baseball. Well, I know Skip Lewis Field still dealing with water in left field, and the ground is a little soft. They did just mow these, you know, the grass here, these outfields, and I gotta tell you, all that rain and now some sunshine, this is probably the greenest, best looking, like I've seen the fields in quite a few years, despite, you know, again, a lot of rain. They seem like they're playing kind of flat, walking. There weren't a lot of, you know, bumps and stuff walking in. It looks, I mean, the fields look good considering, you know, considering the issues that with the weather. They don't look bad at all. Very green, thick grass, low cut. I mean, that's basically what you want. I mean, kudos to the grounds crew. Stopped by Strollo, gets to her feet, throws out the runner. Great play to end the 6th inning. Really nice play there from Strollo. That was a hot shot as well. So ball hit pretty hard off of Dumont here in the 6th inning, but no runs for New Bedford. Just the 1 hit, 1 left on. Bottom of the 6th about to begin here. Had to make a quick battery change there, so we apologize for the pause. Well, you didn't miss anything other than some warm-up pitches and me rambling in between innings, so that's okay. So updated schedule, Durfee, let's see, today is Monday the 7th, so more Big 3 play coming for the Hilltoppers this week. They're going to travel to Brockton on Wednesday. Again, they've already beaten Brockton once, and then they'll see New Bedford in a week. So, again, a lot of games in a very short amount of time to be played here. So, Julia Kelly leading things off. She's the number 2 batter, 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. We'll see 3 and 4 as well. That's Faith Ferreira and Jackie Dumont. Durfee needs to get the bats going here. A strike on the inside corner, even that's a called strike, not from the bunt. Durfee with just the 2 hits on the day, no runs, and they've struck out 10 times. Little blooper, nice play from Furland running in. She was already playing in, expecting a bunt, and then able to catch it. So a pop out to third for the first out. And that'll bring up Faith Ferreira. We'll call it a sacrifice in the first inning. And then a base hit to left field last time up to lead off the fourth. And that was the inning that looked like Durfee was gonna push a run across. And swinging through the first pitch for strike 1 is Ferreira. Curveball floats up, doesn't drop in there, a little high. Count even at 1-1. Fastball swung on, popped to second. So 2 in the air, but they haven't left the infield here in the 6th. 2 down for Jackie Dumont. 0 for 2. A ground out to third and a pop up to third. Outside corner for strike 1. Dumont falling behind 0-1. If she's retired, it'll be up to Dias, Mayette, and Borges in the bottom of the 7th. Next inning, grounder to second, played cleanly. Good fielding from the Lady Whalers as Ramos to Aruda to end the inning. A 1-2-3 6th inning for Gray. After 6, 2-0 New Bedford. Top of the 7th about to begin here. Dumont deals with the first pitch. First pitch swinging by Ayers, and it's into center for a base hit. Ayers, 2 for 3. Had a 1-out single in the 5th inning. She's the one who kind of got that inning started basically offensively, brought home the first run of the game, or she scored the first run of the game on the error. So now 2 hits in the game, a run scored. Nice day for her, a bunt out of play by Emma Furland. Trying to move the runner over and maybe grab an extra insurance run. 2-0 New Bedford here in the 7th. Last frame, unless Durfee can tie it up in the bottom half. That one upstairs. Swinging away, and that's going to be a tough one. Streeto has to just eat it. Infield single for Emma Furland. Perfect placement there. Thought it was going to have eyes and sneak into left field, but regardless, still a base hit. So first 2 reach for New Bedford here in the 7th. Sydney Ramos coming to the plate. Would highly expect her to be trying to lay down a bunt and move the runners over. Stroller at third, Mayette at first, playing in. Bunt is dropped. Beautiful bunt. And she's going to beat it out at first. What a fantastic bunt from Ramos. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the 7th. Second time Ramos has been on today, and Now Coach Ferreira going to go out and have a meeting with the team. Now we're going back to the top of the order as well. Interestingly enough, the bottom of the order seems to have had more success against Dumont today than the top, and that's total opposite from what Coach Lowe was saying before the game. So the lineup in the bottom half of the lineup has been kind of troublesome. It's been more the top of the order getting it done offensively, but today the bottom half making some noise. Ayers at third, Furland at second, Ramos at first, Almeida Sylvia at the dish, 0 for 3. It's a big spot for Dumont. She wants to keep it close enough for Durfee to try to tie it up in the bottom of this inning. That's upstairs. 1-1. Popped up, tough play, and it's gonna fall. 1-2. Almeida Sylvia has lined out and grounded out twice. Off the mask of the umpire. No worse for wear, gives a thumbs up. So the foul ball, 1-2 again to Kiki Almeida Sylvia. Dumont drops it in there, but it's in the dirt. Really good pitch there, I like the idea. 2-2. Fouled off. Good at bat going here between Almeida Sylvia and Dumont. Two-two. Strike three call. That's a huge strikeout for Dumont. It's her first since the 5th. 4th overall. Right now, none bigger than that one. Kylie Catano will step in now with 1 down and the bases loaded. Swinging away into left center. That's going to bring home 2. Ayers from third, Furland from second, and it's a 4-0 Whalers lead. No wasting time there. First pitch, a liner to left. It's a 2-run single. And a 4-0 Whalers lead here in the 7th. Tasonis will come up 1 for 3 with a double, taking off or thinking about it. Not going to throw through because they don't want the runner to come home from third. So into second goes Catano, and I'd say defensive indifference since they never threw through. They just conceded. So she'll take second.
Good hitter.
You got 2-1, kid. Come on. Hit a shot, kid. Hit a shot. Base hit.
Popped up foul. That's hit going way behind us. 1-2 the count to Tasonis. Swinging away, good, healthy cut there. Comes right back here, though, to the backstop. And the count stays 1-2. Another foul ball back. Good battle here now, too. We've seen a couple good at-bats put on by the Whalers, trying to stay alive. Here's the 1-2 again from Dumont. That's driven in the air to left, and it's going to fall in for a hit. Dias had it fall in front of her. That's going to bring in another run. Scoring from third is Ramos. I thought that was actually hit a lot harder than it was. I thought it was going to hang up for Dias, and that it was deep enough as well. It was not. Over to third goes Catano, and the RBI on the base hit for Tesanos. She's taken off. They'll let her go. Still only one out. It's the Whalers putting a 3 spot on the board so far here in the 7th. Lillian Gray at the plate. Takes a strike. She's 0 for 3. Waves a miss, and a snap throw to third, trying to catch. Catano napping. That is roped foul. Look out, anybody standing down there. Really got on top of that one. 2 strikes on Gray. That's hit and past Strito. This is going to maybe be a pair more. Catano in. Motoring home is Tesanos. She slides in safely. 2 more for the Whalers. Two RBI for Gray on the base hit. It is 7-0 New Bedford as they're just patting it on here in the 7th. A 5 spot in this 7th frame. In the air, a pop-up to third. Boutin able to play it for the second out. Boutin, I should say. Boutin with the pop-up. Strollo plays it. Now we'll see Jessica Aruda with 1 down. The 9th batter to hit in this inning. On deck is Ayers, who started it with a hit. Aruda pops it up. It's out of play. She's 0 for 3. Everyone in the lineup except for Aruda and Almeida Sylvia, the leadoff batter, with a hit in this one. So 7 of the 9 with hits. Six hits so far in the inning, 5 runs across. 1 on here with 2 down. That's Gray at first. Aruda the batter. Grounded to third. Strollo plays it. The throw to first in time, and the inning mercifully comes to an end. However, the Whalers pretty much all but seal the victory officially here. 5 runs in the 7th. They're up 7-0 now. Very different game than it was coming into this inning. The Hilltoppers gonna need a lot of magic and maybe a little miracle if they're to come back here. 5 runs and 6 hits allowed in this 7th frame. Hilltoppers will have 5, 6, and 7 in the order in this 7th inning. Leading it off will be Kylie Dias, who is got a strikeout and reached on a hit by pitch. Was left at second. Going back to that hit by pitch, Gray has retired 8 in a row with 3 Ks, 3 pop-ups, and 2 groundouts. So she's in a groove again. At one point had retired 9 in a row, and now on an 8 in a row string. Dias will step in first. Ball 1 upstairs.
Don't quit, ladies. Come on. Pitch by pitch.
2-4-1, 2-4-1. Let's go now. Come on now. There you go, Sid. Come on, Lee. Come on the hands, kid.
1 down in the 7th. Gonna bring up Mayette. Check swing, and she punched at it. Thought she might have held up.
1-4-5, 1-4-5. We know where we miss, right? We know where we're gonna miss.
That is hit towards left field, and well hit, but caught by Tassonis for the 2nd out. So 2 down in the 7th. Caitlin Borges will step in, and she'll take first pitch upstairs. Well, the Whalers gonna improve to 2-0 in the Big 3. Durfee's gonna drop to 1-1. Borges 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts looking. So it's been a tough day at the plate for her. Takes the strike. 2 strikes to Borges. Hilltoppers down to their last strike. Gray looking to close out a complete game shutout. And it's just inside. She's had a strikeout, at least 1 in every inning except for last inning, even though it was a 1-2-3 6th. 10 on the day. She's retired 10 in a row. Largest string of the afternoon. Grounded a short, tough play, but got there in time. Plenty of time, in fact. Almeida Sylvia to Aruda, and that's the ball game. The Hilltoppers without a base runner in the last 3 frames. A very impressive pitching performance from Lillian Gray. She's been doing a lot of pitching, and she gets it done today in what is a huge win for New Bedford. They are now 2-0 in the Big 3. Durfee drops to 1-1 in the league with the loss. And really, I mean, you look back at this game, and Durfee had such a great opportunity to strike first in the 4th inning. Were unable to do so, and then right after that, New Bedford comes back and grabs the 2 unearned runs in the 5th inning, and they never looked back. Durfee did not get another base runner the rest of the way, so Gray really shut it down once she got that lead, and then New Bedford closed it out in the 7th with those 5 runs to make it a surefire win. So Coach Lowe and the Whalers win the last Big 3 game to ever be played on this field here at Durfee. You see him there talking with longtime Durfee coach Steve Winarski, who's now assisting Kathy Noversa, one of his former players over at Diamond. But Steve was the coach here with the Division I championships. So nice to see him back here at Durfee as a spectator. Got to chat with him in between innings. But nonetheless, a tough one for Durfee. This was one that they really needed, and they drop it 7-0 to New Bedford. For Vanessa Combs and Gary Leet behind the camera, I'm Evan Massoud saying so long from Durfee. See you Thursday for baseball from Skip Lewis Field.